Oh, wait. Welcome to What Are the Odds of Football? My name is Anika, aka Buanika, and I've got my boys here. BK, what's up?
Sure. It's all good, man. It's all good. How are you guys?
It's been a while, man.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. Pretty, how's it?
I'm good, I'm good. It's been a while, bro. But I guess we're back. We're back. Let's get into
You can't keep a good man down.
it.
No way. No way.
All right, gentlemen, we're gonna do things a bit differently today. And we are actually gonna go back to the beginning of the season and look at the moments that we had during the season. And we're gonna kick it off with the Community Shield Cup, which was played by Liverpool versus City. Now, pretty when this game was playing, it seemed like it was gonna be one of those seasons where it's gonna be Liverpool and City. Um, Take me through what you think of this, what happened.
Actually, looking at if I could remember very well, they had a decent game, both teams actually in the community shield. It was like, okay, like you are used to this. This is what is gonna happen.
Sure.
But then I don't know what happened. I think injuries for Liverpool. City are still the same City.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised when Pep said that actually he's not pissed that they're 5 points behind uh, Arsenal actually because before the game one of his assistants told him that it's one of the highest points they've had on the previous seasons ever since he was in City. So meaning that Arsenal are playing much better than him.
Okay.
Actually, you understand?
Okay.
So it's Liverpool are dropping points, but City are not. So it's still the City against whoever.
Sure.
You understand? But Liverpool, I think they're gonna do better. They they are starting to find their form. Nunes is starting to actually what they want. You understand? So for me, hopefully, yeah, they're gonna get there.
BK?
Well, in terms of Liverpool, yeah, I hope they become more and more competitive. As for them pushing for top four, yeah, it's gonna be quite a difficult one with United being where they are, Newcastle and maybe Spurs. I think it's going to be an interesting battle for top four. Um, we'll see second half of the season if the injured players for Liverpool come back and Liverpool go on a run. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. As for City, it's what you expect of Man City to be where they are at this moment in time. You'd expect the experience over the past couple of seasons to help them chase down this Arsenal side that is not looking like it's slowing down.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll definitely see. I believe City will pick up a lot of points. This break will help maybe Pep as well. The one issue I have with them is the defense. The defense is not as strong for me as it should be. Yes, Haaland is there, but what happens in those games, in those tight games where you need to win a 1-0?
Yeah.
That defense has let them down on a number of times for me. So it's very interesting. But again, it shows how competitive um, the league is, with the likes of Newcastle giving City a hard time. Even Fulham, I think, gave City a hard time. Now they lost last week, is it? They lost 2-1. So it shows again how difficult this league is.
Oh, wait. So Petit just mentioned Nunes just now. So one of the big topics, obviously, he scored a goal. They came in as a sub. We were like, "Hey, man, this boy might be dangerous." One of the topics was Mane. Is Liverpool gonna miss Mane? But talk me through, BK. We've now seen Liverpool for half a season. Are we still saying they miss Mane? Is that where the issue is? And then talk me through to, okay, Nunes had a very bad start, and are we gonna see a better Nunes come second half?
Um, well, as for Mane and Liverpool missing Mane, of course, Mane is a good player. They do miss him there, but I think their downfall is more than just the Mane issue. It's the injuries, maybe the fatigue. it might be a number of reasons. It's not just up to one reason or one player why they're suffering, because Mane alone does not make the team. But you saw Mo Salah's form dipping. Now he's coming back, scoring the goals. So it might improve for them going forward. Van Dijk is not the Van Dijk that we know. That sense of aura that is always surrounding him. That reassurance that he will defend. It's no longer there. So it's not just Mane. It's quite a number of things. As for Nunes, I do hope he regains form. From what I've seen the last couple of games, he's been playing quite well. But we'll see. We'll see. I hope World Cup will be the kick in the behind that he needs to sort of push him to a better second half of the season with Liverpool.
Pretty, you were excited about Nunes coming to Liverpool. How do you feel?
Actually, it just like any other player, but it depends on what you have achieved as a player, actually. Because I can't say, for example, likes of Casemiro, it didn't take him time to adapt to the EPL, actually, because of the experience which he had. You only understand. He did play in the EPL somehow because he played a couple of games against English team in England.
Yeah.
You understand? So it does count. So Nunes just played one game against Liverpool actually in England. So for me, it was that thing. Okay, because of the price tag, he needed to deliver the service immediately. But then I think that he needed time to adapt to the system, to the atmosphere, to everything. You understand? So I feel like for me, let's give him time. We gave him time actually. Now he's starting to look like a different player. The past 3 games, he's looking like a different player. So for me, he's gonna adapt. He's gonna adapt to the system of Liverpool. But besides that, they need signing. They need to change their system. Everyone knows the midfield of Liverpool. Fabinho, Thiago, Henderson, Elliot. That's it. But then you can see that they just need to change here and there.
Sure.
For everything to work out.
Away. So, okay, we've discussed that part. In this game, we saw Haaland struggling, or let's say City struggling to actually use Haaland. Talk to me about Haaland's first half of the season.
Yeah, the first 2 games, I think it was difficult for Pep actually to play Haaland because they couldn't find a solution. They used to false number 9. I think they played 3 seasons or 2 seasons without a striker after Aguero left.
Yeah.
So for me, it's that thing. Okay, now we have to change the whole system. He's a smart coach. So they managed to maneuver actually around that system. He managed to fit. It depends on the quality of the team actually. So it made Haaland to look like he has adapted. For me, he hasn't adapted. We haven't seen the real Haaland here. You understand? But then who likes of Kevin and Penaldo for them, they made it so simple for him. Because if you could see Haaland didn't score such a wow goal, which you can say it was just tap in. Any striker can score there. But then they made it simple for him. But it gives that confidence in a player that I do fit in the team. You understand? So for me, we are gonna still see City playing a striker. They just need to adapt actually, because you can see now they're adapted to the fact that they're crossing the balls in the box. When it's not there, they suffer because they're used to. Yeah. So I feel like they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
PK?
No, I think Pretty is 100% correct. He hasn't really adapted to the Premier League for me also. I feel like we are yet to see the best of Haaland. I feel like he can score easily 30 goals in the EPL. Easy 30, 38 goals in the EPL. So we are yet to see the beast that is Haaland unleashed. Yes, he has scored a lot of goals, but in fact, I was looking at a stat the other day where he has scored by himself 2 less goals than United, the whole team. That's how much United is not scoring. they've scored 20 goals as a team,
Yeah.
and Haaland has scored 18 goals. So yeah, it shows you he's a beast. Harry Kane right behind him, but I do think we're yet to see the best of him.
All right. So then Pep, BK, you spoke about the defense of City throughout the season. He sells Zinchenko, right? And now he's forced. Obviously, we know he plays Cancelo on the left. When Walker is now injured, Cancelo is supposed to go there. He's actually a right back, and then Zinchenko could play that side. Decides to sign another left back, right? So he's got 3 people on that side, or let's say 2.5, because Cancelo can now play this side. He doesn't sign another right back because we know that Cancelo, amongst all those players, is the best playing on the left. Talk me through what Pep was thinking here on not signing a right back at least.
Well, maybe he didn't think that Walker would be injured. Number one, with Walker there, he felt safe. I saw a couple of games last season where John Stones was playing right back. And as you say, Cancelo also can play right back. So maybe he thought, let me focus on other areas of the field, like the striker. For me, he really needed a striker. So he felt like defensively, we are still fine. We're okay. What separates us from winning, for instance, the Champions League, which is the holy grail for City, is a striker, is an elite striker. So I think the focus was there, and he just thought, no, I have people that can play right back. But now it's a shame when one of those people becomes injured, then suddenly you're short of players. But yeah, selling Zinchenko, selling Jesus, amen. Pep was just tired of dominating the EPL. He wanted to give Arsenal players so that they can.
He's giving his boy.
They can give him a challenge, man. They can give him a challenge.
We saw City struggling in the Champions League against a pacey Vinicius Junior, and you needed a Kyle Walker. Does he now have to go into the January transfer and actually find an actual right back? Because Stones' chap is good at inverting, not overlapping.
But I feel like they're feeding in the transfer. It's not like he had a plan actually to go back through there. If you could check, he wanted to sign a left back before he signed Gomez. Was going for
Cucurella, yeah.
So meaning that Joe Cancelo was going to go back to his original position. You understand? So for me, it was a last minute thing. Everyone was sure whenever City wants a player, they get it. But now we have to play with what we have. You understand? But I saw against your likes of Pogba, when he played Pogba, he was playing 3 at the back. So meaning that they speak, actually, you understand? So with likes of Vinicius, as you have mentioned, I don't think he's gonna suffer that much. As long as you have that defender, which you say that don't overlap. Just pick at the back, Joe Cancelo will do all the overlapping and coming back if he could. But it's not a must. You understand? So for me, I think just like in other team, you have to play with what you have.
Okay. All right. Then we have on match day 1 of Barclays, where Arsenal fought very hard to win 2-0 against Crystal Palace. Are we seeing a true Arteta now? Because we saw when he got there, he would play a low block. He won the FA playing low block. Are we now seeing what he learned from Pep? Are we seeing that now? Okay, now you know football. He's put confidence in those players.
Yeah, I think one thing which made his team to be good, actually, it's not having so-called world-class players. Those kind of players whereby he have a bunch of young talents. They understand what he wants. They are trying to prove a name of themselves. You understand? So surely he sat down with the players, told them, let's make this. All of us, we need this. You understand? So for me, yeah, I did learn a lot from Pep. You can see his style of football, actually. It's more like similar to Pep's football, actually. And I can tell they can go through, actually,
and win the title.
But if they do well the upcoming games, because I think in January they're facing legs in 5 games. They're facing legs of Newcastle, Tottenham, and
Sure.
Man U
Ah,
again.
mm.
So I feel like he can do bad. He can do bad. He can do good. Actually, it depends on how he readjusts his squad when they come back from the World Cup.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. BK?
Nah, man. Good squad. The mentality is good. The identity, you can see what Arteta is trying to do. Unlucky last season not to be in the top 4. I think they lost 3 games in a row, which was quite unfortunate. And then Spurs crept in. But you can see they can go all the way. They can go all the way. In terms of the top 6, they have played with quite a number of the teams there. They beat Liverpool, Chelsea, I believe they played us. So they have played. They just have to play Newcastle, I believe, and City. But we'll see. I think Arteta will be quite happy with where they are. Honestly, I didn't feel or think that they would end the first half of the season on top, but they surprised me. They surprised me. Yeah.
Oh wait, BK. So they signed Jesus from City. We just spoke about this. He scored a few goals. He starts well. Then he hasn't scored, but the team keeps winning. They keep scoring. Is this a problem for Arsenal? Is he a good signing, or do they need to go to the transfer window and just relook and say maybe we need someone in front of Jesus?
One of the good signs of leadership is identifying a problem before it becomes an issue. And for me, this Jesus thing, it is a problem because he was essentially brought in to score the goals. Listen, if Arsenal were not where they are right now, would be criticizing him, asking a lot of questions like we are about Nunes. So he's quite lucky that Arsenal are where they are. Saka, Martinelli, even Xhaka, they've been scoring. They've been scoring a lot of goals. So he's quite lucky. But it is a problem that Arteta needs to address. I like his work rate. He does work hard off the ball. When he's on the ball as well, he does pull defenders away, giving these wingers the chance to do what they're doing currently. But he needs to contribute in terms of goals.
As you mentioned, actually, I picked up a point of what you were saying. You're saying that it does pull out defenders out of position. Don't you think that it's the tactics which Arteta wants from me? Actually, I don't care how many goals you score, as long as you do what I want you to do, which is it gives other players opportunities. Actually, like so. What's the captain? His name? Odegaard. Whenever Jesus pulls a defender through, he plays as a false number 9. He goes forward. That's why he has so many goals than Jesus. Now Jesus is playing more like a midfield player than a striker. So I feel like more like at the City game. That's how he was doing it, opening spaces for other players, pulling away defenders. So I feel like Arteta won't have a problem with it. Because if you go to the transfer window, one thing why teams don't go normally in January transfer, it changes the whole dynamic of the team.
Mid-season.
It changes if your team was going through a lot, yes, you have to. But if we're doing well, we're collecting points, we're winning, there is no need. Continue with the team. You understand? So I feel like they won't look at the transfer. If they do, they're gonna mess up the whole system because now you have to welcome a new player. You need to make him adapt to the system which is already there. You understand? So for me, continue with the system. Just players have space to improve.
Just to comment on what you said, I do agree with you. Buying a player during the January transfer it becomes a problem to the system. But I'm a bit worried. I agree with both of you, actually. I'm a bit worried, though, that it's Barclays. In Barclays, we let you play where we're like, nah. We can see what's happening here. And I think they'll get a time where the likes of Odegaard are being exposed because now you're the one getting into the box and things like that. Let's see. Let's see. I feel like it's a problem, not a huge problem
Yeah.
yet. Yeah.
Which is why, like, for me, I don't understand strikers like Giroud. You understand that pride themselves in pulling players away for the
Sure.
likes of Mbappe to score because you are a striker. As a
Yeah.
striker, I'd imagine KDB without the through balls. He thrives off through balls. When you're a striker, when you're an elite striker, the major thing, what you want to do is you want to see the ball in the back of the net. And I feel like at some stage, yes, it's fine if they don't buy players or a player in January. Jesus is still doing well. But for him, for his confidence, at some stage, the spotlight will be on him in those games where Arsenal struggle to score, in those games where they go maybe 2 games a draw and they're struggling for goals. The spotlight will be on him. And that's when we'll see the type of player he is.
Yeah, just last comment on this. When you were talking about that, and I was thinking about false nine, I was thinking of Bobby. And Bobby, it was fine because Salah and Mane were ruthless. But can we now say Martinelli and Saka are at that level where we know, okay, sure, if Bobby has taken players away, or let's say Jesus has taken players away, are they ruthless when they get in front of goal?
Yeah, I think Saka can say that Martinelli is not really taking his chances, but Saka is a threat in that Arsenal team. Actually, he's the one who scored goals.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like they have the subs. It's just that they have who seeing the injured those young players. But then if it works for them, continue with the system.
Yeah. All right. Pretty. Talk to me about Saliba's season. Who would have thought?
No one. Only the Arsenal fans, because now I'm thinking about Terence.
Terence.
But then for me, I didn't see it coming. Same applies to Ben White. I didn't see it coming that it can be such a
good.
But then it applies to the system of the team.
Sure.
If this team is doing well, players they bloom actually. They come out actually. So for me, he's doing really well. He's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's very good.
I hope that they will be able to keep him actually for number of seasons. Because there are likes of teams which can
come in fresh man.
Yeah.
PK?
Saliba, very good player. Solid at the back. Gabriel is a bit of is a bit of a Pepe type of player, a bit erratic at times, but Saliba brings in a bit of calmness into that back four. So good player. I did not expect him to play as well, or I did not expect Arsenal to play as well if they've been playing. But yeah, good player, good choice.
PK, Crystal Palace. They were a threat last season. Are they doing well? Are they the same?
No, I think they're underperforming for this season. They're really underperforming. I can't put my finger on it as to why. Yes, there was a time where they had a bit of injuries. I remember the likes of Zaha was injured for quite some time. But still, what I've seen from Crystal Palace this season, it's not impressive at all. It's not impressive.
I can't comment much, but the legs of Crystal Palace are those teams whereby they can have a good season and threat to the top 6, but whenever it comes to the following season, they lose players.
Sure.
They end up selling players, so that it does affect the style of football, and they don't go more into the transfer window. They don't invest much, actually. You understand? So I can say that I saw it coming.
Yeah. Pretty. One of the commentators said when Arsenal won, I can't remember when during the weekend. It was the last game, was it? Yes. He said Arsenal are now 5 points clear, and that's a good gap against City. And then the other commentator was like, is it when you are being chased by City?
Yeah, it's a tricky one because you can't afford to lose focus. Actually, where you can say now we can relax. You keep that 5 points clear. Wait until you play that team,
Sure.
the team which is chasing you.
Sure.
It's you make them lose points,
Sure.
not you losing points.
Okay.
You have to gain points,
Sure.
meaning there is no space of a draw. You can't draw.
Mm-hmm.
For you, it's all out. You have to win.
Sure. Sure.
So for me, if they play City and they win, I can say now, okay, now you can
say it's fine.
put your eye in another competition
Sure.
and one eye to the Premier League.
Sure.
You are fine. So, but for now, you can't. You saw they did pull it last season. City, I think how many points, 6 or 9 against Liverpool. They went through to win the league.
Yeah.
So they are capable of that. 5 points, it's nothing.
PK,
Sure.
is it enough?
Even against United, it was 9-11 points. They chased us down, ended up winning the league that season. I remember quite well.
Yeah.
What Arsenal right now is like a zebra, if I may put it that way. It's like a zebra in the wild, and the lion is chasing. You
Sure.
know that one mistake, and you slip up, that the lion has you, man.
Sure.
And then it's over.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, in the 5 games that Pretty was talking about, if they draw against Newcastle and lose against City, they're level on points of City.
Sure. And then it's a different story now. Even the players start thinking, can we?
It's a pressure. It's the pressure.
Can we?
And to make it worse, you know, English media, they have those facts of theirs.
Yeah.
They bring long time history. Because now they were saying that Arsenal actually, the last, past seasons, where they were on top actually in the Premier League
before Christmas.
They went to lose the tackle before 2003.
Sure.
Actually, the unbeaten. So for me, the media will have influence. If they lose points, now they're gonna put pressure in those young boys, and they don't have the experience. Putting whoever to calm the team down. Just team. Oh, Ferre, we lost points. Let's pick up.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. And then the other game was Fulham, who drew 2-2 with Liverpool. Pretty, Fulham don't want to go back to the championship.
They don't. That's something. I remember last season. Season they were fighting like they are fighting for the title. That's another scary thing about teams which are fighting for relegation.
Sharp.
Towards the end of the season. But then Fulham, for me, Fulham is a team which they deserve to be up there.
Okay.
Their threat always whenever in the EPL actually. So for me, I don't know why they're leaking or whatever. But then they're just a threat. It's that team which we need in the Premier League to upset those big 6 teams actually. So for me, I don't know.
PK? Why are they so stubborn?
They're a very good side. They bought a few good players. I think James is there. I saw Pereira there as well. I saw a couple of good players. The goalkeeper as well is quite good. Yeah. Willian is also there. So they made a few good signings for me. Clearly, they don't want to go back. They're positive when they have the possession. They attack. Mitrovic, obviously, I think he had 40 plus goals last season, and he's been scoring. It's a pity now he's injured, but it's really a good side. I would love to see them again next season. I really don't want them to go down.
You actually just spoke about Mitrovic. Talk to me about his season. He proved his critics wrong. We were like, that's championship. You can't come and do this in Barclays.
Yeah. The quality of opposition in the Barclays is better.
Yeah.
That was the logic. But I think they've played with him long enough to find him. They know how to find him. That far post, those crosses in the far post, killed a lot of teams. That one move, and they know it's gonna happen, but he just finds a way to score. So big ups to him. Hope he gets better, and second half of the season he comes back guns blazing, man.
Pretty, talk to me about Mitrovic.
For me, like a striker will forever be a striker as long as you set your mentality right. no matter the league where you are,
Mm.
you are still facing the same measurement of the goalpost.
Sharp.
You understand?
Mm.
So for me, you just have to tell yourself that as long as I get good services, I can score.
Mm.
You understand? For me, it did prove the English media wrong.
Mm.
He showed them that he can score. But especially at his age, actually, he's old.
Yeah.
He's really old.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah. So for me, I feel like by it's injury.
Mm.
If it wasn't for the injury,
Okay.
he was still doing good
Mm.
before the injury actually. So it's a player which you have to look out for actually the second half of the season. Because I don't think he's going to the World Cup. Yeah. So surely he'll work on his fitness and then become a much stronger player. Because he knows it comes with the age, the
Sure.
injuries.
Sure.
So he has to work on his fitness.
All right. And then our other game, we had Spurs who won 4-1 over Southampton. Pretty. Why is Antonio Conte scared of playing good football? They were playing good at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, they were playing good. I feel like it's that emotive. I'm in the Premier League. You understand? They say that they have the best defenders actually. So and it does fit the system. But then I don't understand. Away you can play that football, but home you have to be the team which marks their territory. You have to have ball position. You have to have so many shots on target as a home team. You understand?
Sure.
So that teams can fear you whenever they're coming to
your stadium.
To your stadium. But then it's boring football.
Yeah.
It's boring football. He's using protection. Condoms. That's how I have a term for him now. In the condom.
Sure.
So what he does is he rather plays a normal football and score through the normal football.
Sure.
But then if a team scores first, it's under pressure. Then he plays a different kind of space. You'll see a master space actually.
BK, is it one of those situations where you feel like I got a girl that I never thought I would get because they went up top 4 fast, they were there. Are they now feeling like, yo, guys, as long as we're here? Did we lose BK?
BK?
Yo, I can't quite put my finger on the Spurs thing. Because after they went into the top 4, I expected them to challenge actually. Where Arsenal is now, I expected Conte to be there challenging. That's how good he is as a manager. Because I mean, the guy dethroned Juventus. I mean, Inter won the league.
Yeah.
After Juve's dominance for how long? For 10 years. So he's a good coach. I expected more out of him this season, and he doesn't have an excuse because he had the off season to buy players that he needed to buy. Daniel Levy backed him fully. So I just don't know why they're playing the football that they're playing now. It's boring. It's only when you score them, like Pretty says, that they come for you. Other than that,
now BK, you would think that all Conte has to do is win silverware, and the board will be happy, right? We need a cup. We need something, and then you get out of the Carabao Cup. What now? Are we aiming Champions League? Are we aiming FA? Because I don't think they would go for the league.
Maybe FA. Champions League is a bit of a stretch with the squad that they have. Maybe, I don't know. Champions League is a bit of a stretch. Maybe they should push for FA and top 4. For me, that would be a good season for Spurs if they are in the top 4 and they won the FA Cup. Teams like Newcastle, Spurs, United, top 4, FA Cup, good season.
But for me, I can say that I always say that the FA Cup, it's the most difficult cup to win.
Sure.
Carabao Cup. Because Carabao Cup, it has lots of second division, third division teams actually. And as an EPL team, you get advantage because I think you start playing from the third round. Actually. Those are last 32.
34, 32.
32, somewhere there. So it's an easy cup to win. And besides that, they had Forest, isn't it?
Yeah, it was Forest.
So that's how he suffered. He was away from home playing against Forest. he played that normal football of his,
Mm.
and they played a low blow. also.
Sure. Ah.
So they made him suffer too much because they scored one goal, they played a low blow, he played his football, they caught him on a counter, and they scored. So for me, it's something which you can't bring the mentality of a league philosophy into a cup philosophy.
Mm.
Cup philosophy, you have to score as much goals as possible
Sure.
so that you don't get kicked out.
Mm.
So for me, there is no silverware which is gonna get. There is no silverware is gonna get.
All right. Quickly, yes or no question. Southampton getting relegated this season.
They're going. They're going.
PK.
Gone.
All right. You heard it here. I think let's log off and log back in again. Did I stop here?